Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood. Now it's 6:30.
This is News 6 at 6:30. Thank you so much for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Ginger Gadsden. We are looking ahead to a dry and warm Easter weekend. Meteorologist Jonathan Kakis joins us now with a look at what we need to know as we get ready for another weekend of no rain, Jonathan.
Yeah, pretty much. Over the next 7 days, we're going to be on the drier side. Just very limited rain chances and certainly no chance this weekend. We're going to start the day off tomorrow morning, Easter weekend, into the mid-60s. We're back to the middle 80s by Saturday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon. Just a few passing high puffy clouds like what we saw this afternoon. Happy Easter on Sunday. We're talking about temperatures getting back to the upper 80s again. Gorgeous if you're planning on heading out to any sunrise services early in the morning. Nice and clear skies, pushing 90 degrees on Monday. We'll see a few more of those clouds bubbling up with the heating of the day. As we go forward beyond this 3-day forecast, we're going to heat things up even further. We'll talk about that part of the forecast coming up at about 6:47, Ginger.
See you then, Jonathan. Thank you. The Florida State community and the rest of Florida continue to honor the victims of the deadly shooting on campus. News 6's Catherine Silver heard the stories of a student body still in shock from this tragedy.
We heard the university president say at tonight's vigil that this trauma does not define us, and this display behind me is certainly proof of that. This memorial here at the Student Union shows you what this place is really about. It's a community leaning on each other to get through after a shooting right here in the heart of campus. There is silence at this memorial outside the Student Union, growing like the grief across Florida. Here in the heart of campus is where the shooting began. Police say the gunman, a student, killed 2 people. One of them was Robert Morales, whose brother shared family photos on social media. He loved his job at FSU, his beautiful wife and daughter. Morales worked for dining services and was one of the original founders of Gordo's Cuban Cuisine, a Tallahassee staple.
This is unfortunately things that we trained for.
The surviving victims were rushed to Tallahassee Memorial Health, where this team of doctors say time was on their side.
They were all, and I've said this on other interviews, very, very brave. You know, there's the moment of shock, but all were able to talk to us, kind of give us, you know, how they're feeling, where they're feeling pain.
Medical staff say everyone they are treating is expected to fully recover, and 2 should be released Friday.
And it was terrifying to see, like, it could have been anyone. And one of my friends was impacted.
Taylor Brown says one of her friends knows a girl who was shot.
We were sitting in the classroom together yesterday, and her friend was shot several times. So she's at the hospital now, though. I don't know any more details.
Her mother drove from Jacksonville to be with her daughter who can't make it home for Easter.
She was begging me to come home yesterday, and she was so scared that she actually came to visit me this morning.
How do you feel, Mom?
Oh, I'm so thankful for the kids that have survived. I got a text from her that, you know, there was a shooting, and then I realized, oh my gosh, I said, don't go to class. And then I realized she was in class, and she was hiding in a corner with the door barricaded.
While the community mourns and the investigation continues, Tallahassee is taking care of their own, hoping heartbreak will soon turn into healing.
I think this is my 4th time here so far, but it's beautiful that we're coming together right now.
Why do you keep coming back?
Because I love this community so much.
And we have heard that from so many students. This is what they feel like they can do to show their support, so they are showing up here for each other. In Tallahassee, I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
The shooting has affected people all across Central Florida. We have resources for people seeking support. Just search clickorlando.com/mental health. Orlando police need your help finding the man who tried to break into a woman's home and sexually assault her. It happened in a quiet neighborhood not too far from downtown Orlando. News 6 reporter Laverne McGee spoke to some of the people who lived there.
Take a look at this surveillance video released by the Orlando Police Department. They're searching for this man running down the street. They say he tried to break into a woman's home on Wilkinson Street in the Orwin Manor neighborhood and then tried to sexually assault her. News 6 was there as police checked the neighborhood. Neighbors tell us they're worried.
So people are very upset. This isn't typical for the neighborhood. You know, I've been here 25 years, so we're all friends. You know, we have a really active email group.
Crimes like that, never heard of one here. ever.
News 6 wanted to ask Orlando police more about their search for the man, but they declined to be interviewed on camera. They described the man as black or Hispanic, in his late teens or early 20s, standing between 5 feet 7 inches and 5 feet 10 inches tall, with a thin build. He was last seen wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt, or may have removed it, wearing a black shirt with white design.
We definitely want to see the person caught.
If you have any information, contact the Orlando Police Department. In Orlando, Laverne McGee, News 6.
Another rally today in support of a popular teacher losing her job over using a student's preferred name. We've been following how Brevard Public School is not renewing Melissa Calhoun's contract. The district says the Satellite High School teacher called a student by another name. Florida requires a written permission slip from the student's parents to do that. News 6's James Barbero shows us others in the community are continuing to protest that controversial decision as well.
Melissa Calhoun's supporters are back out in numbers, standing up for the popular teacher at Satellite High School. Today, organizers ask supporters to come out and wear blue, which they say is Miss Calhoun's favorite color. Could you tell us your names and tell us why you wanted to come out and join?
My name is Kylie. I came here because, recently there was a teacher who was arrested for battery, strangulation, and he was let go on administrative leave, so he's still being paid. And I personally believe that that is a lot worse than referring to somebody by how they want to be referred to as and respecting somebody's identity. And meanwhile, Miss Calhoun is losing her job when she didn't do anything violent or dangerous. And so I think the school board needs to get their straight.
So you heard the young lady bring up the other stories involving Brevard Public Schools teachers right now that have gained some controversy as well. This week I was able to interview school board member Matt Susan about those stories and this story involving Miss Calhoun. Here's what he said. Is there anything you'd like to say to our audience, maybe those who are critiquing the school district, maybe harder than ever over some of this news lately that's been not going over so well favorably with parents?
Well, you know, the bottom line is that we have a situation where the teacher admitted to breaking the law. We have to follow the law. We set it up. The question now is, and she's a good teacher, right? She has good scores and everything else, but we have to follow that.
And a lot of these people say they're coming to next week's school board meeting to address the school board in person. In Satellite Beach, Brevard County, I'm James Sparvero, News 6.
It is Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com, so let's check out what's trending. Some might say don't go chasing waterfalls, right? But our digital team invites you to do just that. Visit Florida features some nice spots like the Hidden Waters Preserve in Eustis or Rainbow Springs Waterfalls in Dunellen. ClickOrlando.com shows several others to explore. And here are some of the other stories trending right now over on ClickOrlando.com. 10,000 pages of records related to the 1968 assassination of Senator Robert F. Kennedy were released today. It continues the disclosure of national secrets ordered by President Donald Trump. And the new SeaWorld Orlando Arctic Adventure attraction is set to open next month. It will take guests on an immersive experience through ice landscapes. You can check it out May 1st. Orlando is offering students a head start on real-world experience, the paid internship program that's pairing high school students with small businesses. First, though, it's a Jeep invasion in Daytona Beach. Jeep Beach kicks off with plenty of newcomers and vets of the Central Florida Party. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Cocoa Beach, Horizon West, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, great weather to hit the sand. Thousands of tricked out Jeeps are rolling into Daytona Beach tonight for Jeep Beach. The 10-day event is the largest of its kind in the country, and it's all for a good cause. News 6's Molly Reed is in Daytona Beach with a look at what's to come.
We've lifted Wranglers starting to roll in, and of course the doors are off with this great weather here today. Now we're expected to break records this year with over 200,000 Jeep enthusiasts expected to come into town and over 25,000 of the SUVs.
I am so excited to see all the tricked out Jeeps here, all the people, all the excitement, the beautiful weather.
The doors are off and the dashboards are ducked out. Yeah, people put so much time and effort into them, it's insane. Some of the Wrangler drivers who visit our beaches once a year were a bit surprised by the increased beach access and parking costs that just went into play. Well, it's a little crazy, especially since you're going to be doing it every day. Yeah, so yeah, it's a little crazy to have $33. Now, all of this fun and the SUVs are actually for charity, with Jeep Beach being a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Over the last 13 years, they've given back over $5 million to charities across Central Florida. Of course, for the businesses along here in Daytona Beach, the tourism boost is also pretty nice.
They spend a lot of money in the restaurants and the bars, and we really like that it's a 10-day event. So it's good for business for over a week, where some of, the 500 is huge for a weekend.
Joel Darr and Michelle Waddell are with the Hard Rock Hotel in Daytona Beach. They'll host several Jeep Beach events with others around Daytona Beach for over the next week.
The Jeep community is different than the bike community, than the race community. It's much more jamly, right?
Jamly.
Is the term.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good soul.
And another fun fact I'm told about this year's Jeep Beach is that there's actually going to be over 39 countries represented from the Jeep enthusiasts. Of course, this event starts Friday and rolls through April 27th. Daytona Beach, Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed, News 6.
That's a lot of Jeep action, Molly. Thank you. Here's a live look now over at Daytona Beach. It's beautiful out there, and you can see the people enjoying it. You got a little bit of white caps out there.
Yeah.
But it's the perfect weekend and perfect weather for the beach. But you said it earlier. It's Easter weekend. Everyone's with their family. They're doing things. And one of those activities might be like grilling out. You've got to be careful.
Be careful. Yeah, those burn bans are in effect. They don't impact grilling or campfires or things like that. They have to make sure you just tend to that.
Just the tiniest spark, though.
And we saw that, that almost inferno. The video in Brevard County yesterday or the day before. Out of control. They
can't
go.
be too careful.
Yeah, those leaves. We saw it in Volusia County as well in a story earlier this week. You can feel when you're out there and the leaves are just crinkling and crunchy. It doesn't take much, long story short. Here's a live look outside in downtown Orlando. Wanted to show you this. We've been watching these puffy clouds. I know it might be lame, but it's one of my favorite things to do is just watch the cloud cover bubble up through the day. And then as we lose the solar heating, as the sun goes down the horizon, we lose those puffy cumulus clouds. And every time I've showed you this, I showed you once at 4, again at 5, and then again at 6. We've had a little cloud cover, that cloud going away quickly. So that's a live look with our Light Orlando delivering Hope Skycam. Temperatures back to the lower 80s. The breeze, it's out of the east at about 15 miles an hour. It's one of the reasons why we saw the white caps out there that Ginger pointed out. But it's also going to be another reason why that rip current risk goes up a little bit over the weekend. It's going to be high. You'll see the red flags flying. And believe it or not, it's because of that big area of high pressure way out of the Carolina coast, north of Bermuda. It's inducing that easterly breeze off of the Atlantic again. When you get that perpendicular push into the shoreline from the wind, it helps to increase that rip current risk even further. So again, we're going to keep that rip current risk high through the weekend. Temperatures back to the lower 80s both Saturday and Sunday. Load up on the sunscreen, of course. That UV index is going to be maxed out, and the surf at about 3 to 4 feet. Water temperature, it's still chilly, but it's getting up there, hanging around 70 degrees right now. 83 in Groveland at this hour, 84 in Leesburg, Titusville, Mims, good evening. We're back to the lower 80s, right around 80 degrees at the Cape right now. Clear skies when you wake up tomorrow morning. Temperatures in Groveland when you wake up are at 63. Daytona Beach, nice and comfortable, 65 degrees with that breeze. Now here's a look at the afternoon.
Your forecast is sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
Didn't even try to rhyme that there. 85 in Mount Dora. Sanford, we are at 83. DeLand, good evening. We are at 83 degrees tomorrow. Hotter the further west you get from the Atlantic because of the breeze out of the east. 90 degrees into Denellen tomorrow. And again, just those puffy heating of the day clouds. Now, the one thing, again, that we'll continue to say is We need rain. I think it's going to be a long, long time before we get enough rain to even start chipping away at our drought. This is through the next 10 days. Model forecast here. All the active weather is way to our west, towards Texas, back to Oklahoma, Missouri, Great Lakes, Northeast. Notice us again over the next 10 days. Hardly a drop in the bucket in terms of the rainfall. And again, that's from beyond today, 10 days out. So that's going to be through about April 28th. 85 degrees on Saturday, 88 degrees on Sunday. We are back to 89 on Monday, again, Easter Sunday. Looking very, very nice. Sunrise services are going to be fantastic. 90 degrees on Wednesday, just a 20% shot for a couple of showers, and then staying around 90 degrees Thursday into Friday.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. A volunteer eagle watcher saw an eaglet missing from the nest behind her home and quickly worked to find her. While Florida's eagle population is doing great, there are many cases of them being wounded in accidents, entanglements, and even being poisoned. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez shares the story of Blink, the one-eyed bald eagle on the road to recovery.
I came out one morning, Monday morning, and I noticed that they were not on the nest.
Jessie Dixon has lived in Kissimmee for 8 years. She says what sold her on the house was Betsy and Benjamin, her 2 avian neighbors.
A bald eagle flew over us and went and landed on the nest, and I could see that it was a nest, and I was like, sold.
As a volunteer eagle watcher, she monitors their nests and reports their movements to the Audubon Center for Birds of Prey. Last week, she discovered their baby, or eaglet, was gone.
So my husband and I, we walked over around the lake and over to the nest, and we found the eaglet under the nest.
She then realized it only had one eye, meaning it likely wouldn't survive in the wild. Unable to capture it that day, the Audubon Center for Birds of Prey coordinated a search party.
And so we were able to get him, and now he's at the Center of Birds of Prey.
The Maitland Center specializes in eagles and is evaluating the eaglet, dubbed Blink by Dixon.
About 12% of our overall patient load is eagles, and last year we admitted 739 patients. That included 89 bald eagles.
Blink will likely never be released given its condition, but it is getting the treatment it needs to survive.
The vet did come and see it, so to determine it is missing an eye, so a diurnal bird with one eye. Our criteria here is that we don't release diurnal birds with one eye. They need both eyes to hunt.
Many of their rescues come from volunteers like Dixon, who spend time helping this symbol of America survive and thrive.
Well, my heart fell when I saw that he wasn't on the nest. I was so relieved when we were able to catch the eaglet. I mean, I didn't think it was going to happen, and so I was very happy, very excited.
In Kissimmee, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Our next stop on the road is Claremont, so if you live there, we want to hear from you. What makes your community special? What are your concerns? And how can we help you get results? Let us know at clickorlando.com/hitstheroad. Fill out the form and don't be surprised if you hear from us. Keep streaming. We'll be right back.
Coming up on Monday, work to improve I-4 leading to a new detour for drivers.
The busy ramp that is set to be shut down every single night this week, and why in the end, FDOT says it will be worth it.
Plus, when will we finally see some rain? We'll have your forecast every 10 minutes.
We need that rain. We'll see you for News 6 Morning starting at 5.
It is a chance for high school students to learn real-world skills while also earning a paycheck. Today, the city of Orlando kicked off its Summer Youth Employment Program. And as News 6's Mark Lehman shows us, the initiative is helping both teens and small businesses.
We also do custom items, like graduation shirts.
Derek Johnson is the owner of WePrint, and he took us around his shop.
Back here, this is a wide format heat press,
where he's getting some extra help through Orlando's Summer Youth Employment Program.
Most small business struggle with staffing also. So having the youth in and having them able to learn, it's a great opportunity for that.
What is it that you like about working here?
I like putting designs on shirts. It's something I always wanted to try.
Jamarian King is part of the 5-week paid internship that's possible through a team up with Career Source Central Florida. Today, the Jones High School junior got to show off what he learned to Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer, making some custom clothing from start to finish. Now, the t-shirt that was created here today was actually designed by Jamarian and refined through the help of AI, along with all of the equipment that he's learning to use through this internship. It sets himself up with valuable skills for the future.
Learn to follow instructions, directions, that type of thing.
So it's a win-win for the students and the business.
Absolutely win-win.
Over 400 high school students are expected to participate in the program this year, getting real job experience at no cost to participating businesses and leaving a lasting impact.
It helped me down the road because I want to be a designer when I grow up myself, so this will help me get a start learning how to make designs and stuff.
Now, WePrint is one of dozens of companies taking part in this program, and the city is looking for more business partners. We put details on how to participate under this story on clickorlando.com. In Orlando, Mark Lehman, News 6.
I love that they are starting out and they're getting paid and they're getting real world experience. We talked earlier about our first jobs. I worked in fast food at Burger King. You worked in an Italian restaurant. And what was that restaurant?
It was called the Verona Village Inn. It's outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay, and what was your favorite thing there?
Oh, the chicken parm. Garlic. I mean, we can go on and on and
on.
Yeah. Great spot.
Okay, and you still like chicken parm to this day?
It's the best invention of all time. That's the one thing that we do better than the Italians, because they don't do it over there. They don't.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Americanized.
Well, there you have it. Chicken parm all the way. Now I'm really hungry. Thank you so much for watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app. Remember, we break news on clickorlando.com. Jonathan will see you tonight at 11 o'clock. Bye.